So what is Implant Live? I've got a bit of a personal story with this course, and it goes like this. I think it's a paradigm shift in surgical education. Honest truth, that's what I believe it is. I was educated in a very traditional way. When I went and sat at lectures and listened to professors, looked at pictures, sometimes looked at videos, then I progressed to pig's heads, then it was a cadaver course, another cadaver course, and then maybe I would do some live surgery under supervision. And to be honest, when Lincoln first told me about his vision, what he wanted to do in Implant Live, I was very skeptical and very critical. That's very like me. I just couldn't understand because I was educated in a traditional way, and I just couldn't see how you could take a person and just start with live surgery, and that's effectively what the vision is. How do surgeons learn? They learn by observing other surgeons and then doing this stuff on live people, because a live person is very, very different from a pig's head or a dead head. So we actually learn by doing things. Listening to lectures, the way I was educated, I find is very slow and ineffective, because when I listen to lectures without picking up the scalpel, it goes in one ear and out the other. It makes no sense to me. I can learn things off by heart, but I don't feel them. I don't actually know them. They don't get stuck in my brain. When I started doing surgery on people, I went back and hit the books, and that's when biology started making sense. So effectively, I've done this work twice. And it took me twice as long, possibly, to learn these things, because that's exactly what happened to me. When I started doing surgery, I went back to the lectures. I hit the books again. So what we're doing in Implant Live is allowing people this opportunity to do the surgeries so that the biology starts making sense. And it becomes very obvious once you observe what happens to people. We get people with somewhat limited surgical experience, and we get them to do surgery. Obviously, strict supervision, literally handheld, and then they grow so much, and all of a sudden they start talking about biology, things that make sense, and it makes sense to them. And I've had discussions with past students, and that's what they all say. All of a sudden, it makes sense. So I completely changed my view. I think it's paradigm shift, like I said, in surgical education. When I first came to the course, it was epiphany for me, because I just saw it straight away, how it made sense. So I'd recommend it to anyone. You don't have to have great surgical experience, although it sounds really scary, and it is. We're doing 10-hour days, and they're really intense. If there's something that you can't handle or you get really tired, we're here to take over at any point. Patients are looked after incredibly well. And by the way, it's a great service for the community, because we're operating on people that would never in their dreams be able to afford such level of care, and we're giving them teeth. They don't walk away with our implants not being restored. They're all finished in a proper way. They're all treatment planned properly, and they're all finished properly. So that's my take on Implant Live.